Hello, this is Scott Keene with the Small Business Center at Piedmont Community College for the Roxborough Area Chamber of Commerce. A couple times a month, you can hear this, a quick bit of information, or us presenting you with a bit of a resource that's available. Today, we're going to look at the recently re-released Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP. Yep, it's back for another round to help your business get through the troubles we are currently experiencing. The SBA has opened up the PPP for second draw participants, in addition to reopening it for anybody who didn't make it the first time. So please know that today I'll be covering info mainly for repeat customers of the PPP. Yes, the second round draw of applicants for relief. So if you already benefited from the PPP last year, you may be able to take advantage of it again. For anybody who missed the first round, a lot of these details are the same, but there are a few differences. So check with the Small Business Center or look at sba.gov/PPP. Don't miss your shot this time. Okay, the PPP, or the Paycheck Protection Program, is primarily to help small business owners keep their employees during the COVID downturn. Like I mentioned previously, if you missed the PPP last time, this is for you too. Like the earlier PPP, it is a loan, but it's fully forgivable as long as you stick to the qualified expenses. So when people hear loan, they get a little bit nervous, but it's fully forgivable as long as your expenses are what they tell you to be. You must maintain employee and compensation levels. You must use at least 60% of those funds that you get for payroll expenses. This includes benefits and payroll processing as well. This gives you a little bit more flexibility in meeting various expenses, the 60%, because the last PPP, it started at 75% to be dedicated to payroll. This only requires 60% to be dedicated to payroll and associated expenses. The other 40%, the valid expenses, include rent and mortgage interest, utilities, worker protection costs, PPE, a few other operational costs and supplier costs. In order to qualify, however, you must be under 300 employees. You used, or at least plan to use, your first PPP fully and for authorized expenses. And here's the big one, that you had a 25% reduction in gross receipts between comparable months in 2019 versus 2020. This is the key for this round. It's really going for businesses that took a big hit and continue to take a big hit. The maximum amount is $2 million. It's calculated by taking 2.5 times your average monthly payroll. This comes from your Schedule C payroll taxes, other records of payroll costs. New for this round, however, is 3.5 times for accommodation and food service businesses. This is designated to really address the destruction that we've seen of restaurants, hotels, food trucks, just to name a few of those people. And unfortunately, a large number of these food service folks and accommodations folks definitely have seen at least a 25% downturn in sales. So finally, you'll have a couple of options for your calculation, including understanding about seasonal businesses that may have difficulty in taking an annual average. The cutoff is March 31st, but like last time, I doubt it will last that long. If you're interested, make sure you know where your tax return is, or even your bank statements, and look at sba.gov/lender match. This is where you go to find lenders in your area that are responsible for this process. These don't go directly through the SBA, the PPP, but it goes through an SBA authorized lender. I believe that there's some fintech companies, some financial tech companies out there, the online banks and such, that are available again as well if you don't have a lender in your area or you haven't had much luck with them. Basically, you can get help from the Small Business Center at PCC. I'll have my email at the end of this, but start with forgiveness in mind. Know what expenses are and are not valid for forgiveness, and start off by keeping really good records. If you're not sold or worried that it's worth applying for, know these few facts. They've streamlined the process as much as can be, especially for the forgiveness application part of the program. Most recently, it was down to a one-page simple form for loans under $50,000, and the other areas of loans that they're undergoing the same simplification as much as can be. Farmers and ranchers are eligible. Also, faith-based organizations and churches are eligible. They can apply to cover the cost of their staff, their rent, their mortgage payment, cost of PPE, everything like that. PPE for their workers, everything like that. 501c3s are eligible, as well as the Tourism Authority. I need to send an email in a little bit, and some other civic groups as well. They don't take credit or collateral into account, and they've really addressed the issues with small businesses having problems applying and getting assistance previously. They set aside $25 billion for businesses with a maximum of 10 employees and businesses in low and moderate income areas. If you got stomped on last time and missed out, or if you just had a bad taste for seeing big chain restaurants and sports teams and even instances of flat out fraud, they're really trying to help even the playing field. So take advantage of it. And that's it. Just a quick overview to a huge benefit that just came out in the last week or so. As always, check the fine print. Your mileage may vary. I try to keep up to date as much as I can with this information, but there's always a chance that the program's slightly changed. So go to sba.gov/PPP for the latest. If you have any questions, or if we can help in any way, including getting you ready for making that application or any other just general questions, shoot either one of us an email. Our emails are right there. Folks, this is a great benefit, and if you need it, you need it. Take care.